Hey Nikki, how's it going? Kind of a surprise stream, but we're just gonna do some little game design tonight. It's gonna be fun. We're actually trying to make a game that inspires creativity, and what a better way to do that than a dating game. I don't know. Could be fun. Dating random strangers, discovering their secrets, ooh woo. So, basically, I'm gonna start sketching out what I already have, and then I was hoping that I could get chat's ideas about... Oh, thank you so much for the follow, Furniture GBCR. I'm so sorry that I don't have my follow sounds on. I promise I will give you a little show of what that looks like. Well, if I was just doing chem at the same time, yeah, no problem. Yeah, so feel free to just vibe. I'm probably gonna just like bounce a few ideas off and see if anyone's interesting. But yeah, besides that, I'm just gonna honestly get right into it. All right, but before I delve into it, I'm gonna be using Photoshop just to like sketch the idea out. I'm gonna skip the song too. Jeez. But before I did that, sorry, I'm getting so sidetracked. I'm so happy that Furniture GBCR followed, so I'm gonna give you the imagine your name is there, and you deserve all those squeaky noises. Thank you so much for the follow. I super appreciate that. So, I'm gonna go ahead and start up a canvas. All right. So the general idea of what we have going on here is we want a game that promotes creativity, and that's like the key of what we want is having people experiment with different ideas and just feel like they can create something new. The way that okay, Photoshop. Wow, thank you for the tutorial. I swear I've used this application before. But essentially what I have laid out right now is this idea of, okay, what if people had a way of like creating a society where different things matter to different sorts of people, right? And I was thinking, what better way of exploring that than like a dating game? So the game that I currently have, and again, it's like flexible. I am not held up onto anything, but the idea is that there's 4 different players, right? So you've got one player here, one player here, one player here, and one player here. And then at the very beginning of each turn, players are going to draw, they're going to draw 2 different things. So first of all, they're gonna draw like a spade card. So, you know, I know how to draw a spade. That's actually not too bad. And the spade card is going to have something like an adjective, right? We're getting apples to apples in here. So we've got an adjective here. And then we go ahead and let's make a heart card. And let's say the heart card right here is some sort of like activity, or I guess we could put like noun, right? So I still have to come up with a list of it, but basically the idea is, okay, let's go ahead and just come up with a random adjective. Let's say something along the lines of like colorful, right? And part of the design that I'm working on is coming up with interesting things that will make the gameplay engaging. So let's say there's colorful, and then let's say the noun is something like, let's say it's something like cooking, right? So colorful cooking. And what is colorful cooking? Who knows? That's up for everyone around this group to decide. So you have step 1 of the game, which is decide / define, you know, what the society think that this thing is. So what does the society say that colorful cooking is? Everyone comes together and they say what they think it is, right? And then, you know, everybody needs to agree on something so that the game agrees, and it can be anything. So colorful cooking could be like making the most colorful food, or maybe colorful cooking is the act of like doing art while you're doing cooking, or making like a tapestry with the food. You know, it's like, that's the creative part of the game, is players get to come up with whatever they want. Oh, really? Okay. Sorry about that. And then part 2 is that everybody is going to basically need to interact with this theme in a unique sort of way, right? So let's say that the way that I currently have it laid out is that there's 4 categories. So there's one person that is going to love this thing. So they're going to love colorful cooking. There's going to be another person that absolutely hates colorful cooking. And then another thing we're going to have is someone that's very good at it. So one player is going to be very good at colorful cooking, and then one player is going to be very bad at this thing, right? Ignore that 4 times 4 for now. So basically what you would do is you'd have players go around, they would talk about why this character that they're making up is very, like, why they love colorful cooking. They're like, oh, I think it's so passionate. I think that it really allows people to pour their heart out, and, you know, it's edible by the end. And maybe you have a person that hates colorful cooking. Maybe they think it's, like, unethical. And maybe they think that, you know, all these different colors and stuff should be saved for other works and other arts. And then someone's very good at it, and so they need to describe how they're good at it. Like, oh, Jesus. Discord, stop pausing my music. Sorry about that. I'm gonna need to change that setting sometime. So basically what it's gonna be is, like, they're gonna explain why they're good at it, and the last person's gonna describe what they're bad at it. And then every player is gonna have, like, a little, like, dating profile, and it's split into 4 categories. And depending on what category they're talking about, they're gonna write what their player is like. You know, for example, this category is gonna be love. So why does this person love colorful cooking, right? And then basically you're going to do that 4 times. So you're going to have colorful cooking is going to be the first round. Everybody goes through, they all write down why they love, hate, good or bad at it, right? And then basically the theme of, like, let's say this person wrote why they love it the first round. The next round, what they're going to write is they're going to write, you know, why they hate it. Not why they hate colorful cooking, but why they hate the next card combo that's going to come up. So the next card combo could, for example, be, it could be, I don't know. Let me think of an adjective really quick. Any ideas, chat? Chat, you want to throw anything my way? I'm down for getting creative. I mean, that's half this game. If not, I'll come up with something in a second here. All right. I'm gonna add something a little questionable. Let's say there's, like, sexy, right? So let's say that there's sexy. Also, I hit all my tools. How? Okay, there we go. So let's say they're sexy, and then let's say that the thing, like the adjective that is the thing that they're talking about is, let's say sexy, God, this is hard. Job, right? This is a terrible example. I need to design better nouns and that sort of thing to make the game interesting, right? But then what this person would do is they would talk about why they hate this sexy job, or, you know, sexy job is something that society has created, and it's this thing, this concept that everyone needs to come up with. What is sexy job, right? Maybe it could be like someone who knows how to do their job in a very sexy way, or maybe a sexy job is maybe like, stop. Sorry. Maybe sexy job is like lingo for like somebody who is savvy at being really quick at their work. Or maybe like they are very good at, you know, social interactions with people. You know, just getting really creative of, oh, what is this thing that is sexy job? And then we would go on. This person would talk about why they hate sexy job, whatever that is. And then you would do that 4 times. So everybody basically fills out each category of their little sheet here. And then at the very end, everybody has a full dating profile. And then the third part of the game is that everybody needs to date. So they're all going to speed date with each other player. It's going to be 3 different dates in total, because one person is going to date each of the other person. And the way the game is designed, there's always going to be something that somebody loves about somebody, but there's also going to be something that someone hates about someone else. And so the idea is that all the players get together, and then they talk about these weird situations that they're in, and they, you know, are going to see whether they're compatible with the people that they're talking to or not. And so that's honestly the full game that I have so far. I think it could be missing a thing or two. Like I'm gonna write, like, one of the pros of this game is that it has some creativity to it. You know, players get to come up with different things of weird combinations of different nouns and stuff. So that could be fun. But one of the cons about the game is that it's not very emotional. Like, the main thing is it's like structured in a way where it's kind of like always going to be funny and gimmicky, which could be a vibe. You know, there's nothing wrong with having a gimmicky a vibe and that sort of thing. But, you know, sometimes you want to have like people have like genuine conversations and maybe like share parts of their life that are hard to share otherwise, through, you know, games are really good at that. They bring out the best in people sometimes. And so that's kind of where I don't like this game as much, and I want to try and change a thing or two so that it maybe is a bit more of like an emotional based game, right? And so, you know, you can have like funny moments, but you can also have more emotional moments. So that's something that's kind of bad about this game. Another one of the cons is that you could get just stuck. Like, let's say the players have no idea what to do with Sexy Job, they spend like 5 minutes talking about it, but they still have no idea what this thing is. Players can get stuck in this game, and that's not awesome. That's part of the design, you know, maybe you need to have specific nouns and adjectives that players are always going to do things with. Make them furries, that fixes everything. Well, damn, I should honestly take your advice. One thing that's kind of nice about this game is that we can have the expectation that everyone wants to participate in it, because we're in a class environment and we're kind of allowed to do that. But also, we can't, you know, one of the worst pitfalls of a game is like being in a situation where you expect everybody to just be like super creative, right? People are gonna get stuck at times. And so this game gives some direction, but it doesn't give the most direction, which could be a little bit bad in the long run of things. So it could use more direction. I'm just gonna draw an arrow for more direction. And then another one of the pros is that it's like, it kind of has like the energy of speed dating, right? It's gonna be awkward, it's gonna be messy, it's gonna feel like you're never saying the right thing, which is kind of awesome, to be completely honest. I've only done speed dating once. I'm not gonna talk about it too much in depth here, because yikes. However, that's the thing that's kind of awesome about it, is it has that chaotic vibe to it. What's happening, friend? Oh, hey, Tempo! Hey, Tempo, so basically, we're just talking about game design right now. I'm trying to design a game that's about, like, having different people, like, date each other according to, like, these really weird verbs and, like, nouns that you mix together with each other. And we're talking about, like, the benefits and, like, you know, disadvantages of the game right now. Yeah, and so that's like one of the good things is that this game has like a very high energy to it. But my issue is basically, again, like it's lacking like the emotional parts of it. Players can get stuck and they could use more direction. So I was honestly just gonna take this time to start brainstorming different rules that I could add to this game, or maybe different things that could change how this game works. Like, one thing I was thinking about is like, you don't need to specifically make it a dating game. It could be fun for it to be a dating game, but the thing is that dating is always going to be kind of like, I think that dating should have moments where you like kind of tap into like the emotional investment of someone. And so I kind of like, that's a little bit missing. So maybe the game doesn't only need to be about dating. But then, you know, comes up the question, how can you have a theme that the game can be based around that works, you know? Art is found within the bounds of limitations or something like that. Yeah, you know, that's honestly, this class is like kind of an art class. It's actually an aesthetics class. And so right now we're just trying to find ways of being creative. And the thing I wanted people to be creative about is like making up fun, different, activities or concepts that the society really likes, and then having them make that up, and then talking about how different characters would interact with that. And those are the characters that they're creating for this dating app, or like the speed date that they're about to go on. Yeah. So it doesn't specifically need to be about dating. That's kind of what I'm experimenting with the idea of. So it's like, what if this game was about da-da-da instead? Like, what if this game was like a city council meeting where everyone was strongly opinionated about something that the town folk have been doing? Maybe you have Old Man McJenkins, which hates colorful cooking, but then you have like Susie Lee, who loves colorful cooking, and they need to have like a city hall. So I'll write that down. Like, maybe it's like a city hall discussion. That could be interesting. It still feels kind of gimmicky though. That's the issue. It's like, how do you tap into like more emotional concepts? Like, one way I can kind of think of is like, how do you incorporate life stories into this? Because like life stories are something that I honestly find is the quickest way of getting like to know someone. Like, that's kind of something I do when streaming. It's like, I try and talk about times that were really comfy. Like, I could be talking about my old neighborhood and it's like, oh yeah, my old neighborhood, it was a gigantic circle. And so like everyone knew each other and they would always run, you know, all the kids would meet for like cops and robbers. Far being intrusive, but to simplify, make it easier for the audience. I like anthropomorphism, but they can convey a lot about a character from a glance without putting into people's stereotypes. No, you're totally good. I like it. You can convey a lot. If the city council, you could tell a turtle from a cat easily. Okay. Yeah, maybe like, that's something you could consider. Like, each character is like an animal, like a cat. And maybe a cat is like a personality type. That could be interesting. So cats, maybe instead of representing individual people, they represent groups of people. That could be interesting. Groups of people? Which is a good idea, like having people be groups as opposed to individuals. Though that does kind of take away from like the personability of like having life stories and that sort of thing, but we don't have that incorporated yet. One of my kind of concerns, yeah, I think it could be interesting, but one of my kind of concerns is that like each of these feels kind of jokey. Like, having an adjective and a noun, it's always going to be kind of a joke, right? Especially if you're making it like an aspect of society. So my question is like, maybe you can design it in such a way where you have things that could be taken more seriously. Like, for example, we could maybe have one of the things be like honest, and then maybe you have another one of them be like honest stories, right? And so maybe one person really loves honest stories, another person hates them. So maybe the design could be, maybe it's the adjectives and the nouns that we need to be really careful about. And maybe the game could end up amazing if we just really concentrated around making these really nice. I'm not sure though. So the question is like, should I just be happy with the design now and just start working on the adjectives and nouns and just be like, okay, hell yeah, we're gonna put our eggs into this basket? Or do we want to experiment with the design here a little more, right? I think having people be associated to groups, like cat and dog, I think that could help people feel like it's okay to be a little more experimental with it, as opposed to being just a version of themselves in this universe, which might feel kind of weird. So almost making it kind of more like a personality test could be interesting. That's actually kind of where this idea sprouted from. Or I think play with it more, yeah, for sure. So how do we make something like a little bit more like a personality test? Could be a question. Right. Let's see. One thing is that we're only using 2 suits of cards for this. We could add more to it. Like, we could add the issue is then you have like being very good at and being very bad at doesn't make as much sense. Like for example, you could have them draw another adjective and a location, and it could be something like neon, and then let's say that there's a place like a cafe, right? Oh god damn it, needs to be red. Neon cafe, right? And that way, like, they could, like, be creative of, like, oh, what is a neon cafe? Well, let me tell you. And then they can come up with, like, a life story of someone that was raised in a neon cafe. And I think that's super neat. Because, like, that allows them to give background about their character, and it also allows them to, like, come up with creative places and, like, a backstory. But the issue is that, like, something like this currently doesn't fit into the core gameplay loop of everything that's over here, right? So I like the idea of locations, but, you know, we might need to expand the scope of the game, if that's what it means. So maybe you could have this be, like, one part of the game and have this be another part of the game? The question then is, like, how many parts do you have, and how do players interact with all those different parts? I do like the idea of, like, a location, though. Does that sound like... Is that, like, vibing with anyone else, or is that just me vibing with it? Sorry, I'm just kind of, like, brainstorming in my mind as well, a little bit right now. Maybe what we could do is, like, having hobbies be one, like, 2 parts of it. Right? And then maybe we just cut it down to only love and hate. And then maybe we could have locations. And maybe people can love and hate locations as well. Right? So maybe one person loves a neon cafe, and they need to come up with, like, a backstory about why their character loves it. And maybe that can be kind of cool, because then someone can get really invested in this idea of, like, oh god, my character loved, like, the way the neon rose from the coffee as the bioluminescent cup left my hand, which is cool. I think that's a cool idea. So maybe hobbies are only part of the game? We could even make, like, if we're thinking about, like, a dating thing, it's like, we could have 2 things be hobbies, and then 2 things be locations? That could be interesting. I'm just trying to think, like, what other things could be interesting on, like, a dating survey? Or maybe, like, a personality test, right? Oh, come on. I know some of my audience has been on Bumble or Tinder or something like that. I don't know. Am I the only one? Am I the only sad one here? Y'all gonna make me cry. Y'all are probably in relationships and not stuck on messaging random people. Nah, I'm alright. I'm alright. I'm having a fun time, but yeah, I'm just, like, thinking. Locations and hobbies. I kind of like having that divide so the entire game doesn't feel exactly the same. And maybe everybody can love and hate. You're listening past. No, you're totally good. If you, I'm sorry. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't want my chat to feel like they need to be pressured into interacting. I'm kind of just talking to myself half the time anyways. So please don't feel pressured into interacting or I'm not bullying you actively, chat. Also, I'm glad that you like my voice. I hope that it's nice and soothing for you to do homework or whatever, too. I say as I take a sip of my water. So locations and hobbies, maybe that could be the divide, and then we just completely get rid of the play in League. Hey, okay. You better be playing Jin. Jin, my favorite character. Don't make me get into it right now, but I just, artistry at its finest. Anyhow. Maybe we could completely get rid of the good and bad segments here. And just make it love and hate, so they love one hobby, hate one hobby. And they love one location, hate another location. That could be an idea, you know? And then still have the speed dating aspect to it. They just talk to each other for like 30 minutes. Maybe they can try and share a life story or something like that. Another idea is like, it doesn't need to be dating per se. It could be like, I don't like this idea as much. Okay, cool, yeah. But it could be like a job interview. I don't like the feel of that as much though. That feels kind of weird. Because like, the thing is I want it to be like a personal setting, right? And I feel like dating is the easiest way to make some of the hobbies. Yeah, like for example, like maybe one of the hobbies could be like spiky murder. Right? I don't know. Spiky murder. And maybe one person really loves spiky murder, but another person really loves spiky murder. Okay, I guess the question is, should I force players into saying that do I study game? Yeah, I actually do study game design. I'm actually about to get my bachelor's degree this year. I have no idea how I managed to get through college this quickly. Trust me, I feel like I've learned nothing. I'm still working on it, but... Oh, thank you, Tempo. Oh, an engineer! That's awesome! That's super cool. Yeah, I have a few friends that are learning to be engineers. Good old folk. Preserving our future and actually making it physically manifest itself so I can have my computer in my house, you know? Good shit like that. Maybe you're given a position to hire people and given a random company each time and have to hire people that fit best. Kind of. I kind of like that idea. The thing that kind of sucks about that is that like you don't make it as personal of a game if you put it in a business setting. But it could have more interesting interactions. So that's something that we can like start to question a little bit. The nice thing about this structure is that we could use all the cards. So we could use spades and hearts for one category, and then we could use clubs and diamonds for another. So it feels like a full game because we're using the entire deck. Totally random idea, but just thinking out loud. Yeah, go for it. That's what we're here for. And you have to hire people that fit best. Yeah, so Nikki, you do bring up a good point. I don't have like a win or a lose state for this game right now. So thinking about that is important. Like, do I want players to feel like they can win or they can lose, right? Because your game your concept you come up with, it definitely has like a win and a lose state. And like a dating game, like you could like technically have people get together, but then like, you know, it feels kind of weird, I guess. Because like choosing a winner with dating, just I don't know, something feels a little off about that. Yeah, one thing I kind of like about this idea of splitting up the location and hobbies is that it makes a digestible creativity, is I guess what I would call it, where it's like somebody telling a story about colorful cooking in a neon cafe, that feels like a lot. But like having someone talk about colorful cooking and then talk about neon cafe, maybe they're given the potential to like combine the two ideas. So maybe having the game promote that? That could be interesting. So like, maybe everybody has a dating sheet with all these things, and then maybe they need to combine them in the end. That's an interesting thought. I think it'd be a really cute idea to play as a detective or something, investigating someone who frequents a cafe or something. Then you play the game trying to get to know the regulars, but never really seeing the person you're investigating, like a red herring. Gives you an arc, but who knows? Okay, that could be interesting. It's maybe like there's 3 players that are, like, characters, and the detective... That could be interesting. I like, yeah, the idea of, like, investigating, frequents a cafe, play the game trying to get to know the regulars. Yeah, trying to get to know them. Okay. Okay, so instead of dating, getting to know them. Okay. And it could be a new person each time, like randomly generated people. Yeah, so... Gives you a neutral reason to investigate. Okay. Let's think about this for a second. I don't know. Yeah, because like the thing is like, how would you, because the game does need to be played in 15 minutes, and so then we're asking the question like, how do you randomly generate people? You still want to give people time for creativity and that sort of thing, right? So like, how do you, like, what is the difference between like the game playing itself and then like having people like creatively create things, right? Because this game is like, the thing is to remember is like, this game is all about like creativity. And so it's like thinking about how to keep that part with it while still having it be personal. It is a hard balance. So that's just kind of what I'm thinking on my mind right now. I do like the neutral reason to investigate. That could be interesting. That could be something to go along with. Yeah, another idea is to like maybe have like an overall genre at the very beginning. Would that help? Like for example, colorful cooking could have a different meaning in like a cyberpunk city than it has like in a medieval city, right? So would it help game direction and creativity to have like a genre? Like 80s noir or medieval? If it's for people playing, I like having prompts to help create the character. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so like maybe we need to look into the idea of character creation a bit more. So maybe giving context for that. Because right now we're giving people the idea for like locations and hobbies, but how do we maybe combine those so it's like creating a character instead, right? What kind of rule can we add, or what part of the game can we expand on so it's about character creation? So it's like you're creating things that can feel a little bit more real, you know? Let's think about this. Maybe one is the detective, one is the person being investigated, the other two are also suspects, but they're intentional red herrings. I don't know, but this is so interesting. Oh, well, thank you, Tempo. It's a lot of the weird stuff that game design. So each person creates theirs, then is given their role. Yeah, I guess just then the question is like, so are we trying to No, you're totally alright. I totally appreciate the, so like, the question is like, what part are we focusing on right now? Are we like focusing on like Does the all like are we changing the third step right now, or are we changing the second and the first step right now? Because like I think what you're trying to do is you're trying to get away from the dating concept, but you still want them to like have character creation with this segment over here. Am I understanding you correct? No, yeah, Nikki, you're doing an awesome job. You're making me think about like win and lose states, which is honestly kind of important with games sometimes. Wait, total aside, yeah, go for it, Tempo. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we could like think about like changing this third step. Is your character a long dragon? My character is a fluff dragon. Funnily enough, the person that actually helped to design them first was Nikki. So yeah, I am in existence because of their time and patience with me. I think there's a lot of dating games and I've never been into it. Yeah, that is a good point. Like, that's not for everyone. So I'm trying to think of like what I'd enjoy. Yeah, for sure. Aw, thank you, Tempo. Yeah, it's called a fluff dragon. They're kind of long. I would say they have like a long tail. Honestly, I've considered like a full VTuber model to showcase that sometime when I got money and shit. I thought I had leggies. I do have leggies. I actually do have leggies and a tail. I'm not like a full-on dragon. I'm like an anthropomorpho, so it's like you got your legs and stuff like that, and it's still like human shaped and that sort of thing. But like, yeah, I still got leggies. I ain't the kind of, like, granted, people that have gigantic noodle dragons, I greatly appreciate them. However, I like walking on my two little feetsies. VTubing's where it's at. Oh god, don't. You're gonna make me sad thinking about the cost. But listen, once I graduate college, everything will be so much better. Then I'll have money not going to the college. I know! Listen, I'm trying to get by with rent. I made a VTuber. You made a VTubing model for free. That's so cool. Yeah, I've like considered doing free software and that sort of thing, but it's kind of tricky to do that with like a species that's like made up. So honestly, like I've seen some that are fairly reasonable priced and that sort of thing, but sometimes I have a hard time committing and just being like, I can buy this. My PNG is cute. Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm definitely happy with what I have right now. Like, that's something in the near future, I mean, far future I can think about, but Nikki did an excellent job on this, and I'm so happy how I can have angry eyebrows and yell at people, and it's amazing. I love it so much. I might look into getting more, like, cosmetics and that sort of thing. So, like, if it's Halloween, maybe I can find, like, a way of, like, tagging on a little witch hat or something like that, you know? Get more creative with it. I want to do it. Yeah, I want to do a lot more with it once I get out of college and stuff like that. So if I need any stream help, awesome. Yeah, I super appreciate that, Tempo. Nah, I bet you're awesome. I super appreciate that, Tempo. I'm still trying to figure out a thing or two on stream. So you know, yeah, Joey's been giving me a ton of help. I can make you some of those. Oh, Nikki, you're already so busy as it is. Do not. No. It's very sweet of you, though. You need to make sure that when you have free time. I know, that's the thing you don't, because you're like big brain. You're studying big brain science things. Also, I didn't know that this song is royalty free. DMCA free? But I'm not gonna lie, it's a vibe. I loved this show so much. Nikki is in STEM, yes. I know, look at you two STEM majors out here making shit happen in the real world, and I'm stuck here, get that bread, hell yeah, they need to. I'm stuck here making dumbass games. I'm the reason that society is behind. Nah. Oh, thank you. Oh, with your nice. That's super nice. Yeah, tech is not my thing. Like, I struggle to keep my hardware sorted. There's no way in hell I would ever be able to deal with an entire computer. I'm working full-time and I'm zooming. Oh yeah, zoology. They're studying zoology. Helps you code sometimes because I'm dumb. Oh god. Listen, I'm supposed to make video games and that sort of thing, but like put me in front of some code. I am the dumbest. Okay, also I just realized my chat isn't been showing up this entire time on stream. I'm so upset. One moment. Chat box. It should be right there. Hello? Hold on. Oh wait, I know the issue. Okay. Someone tried typing something really quick. I just want to see if it's working. Oh, there we go. Okay, perfect. You can play the song again. Yeah, I can play it again. I'm using a DMCA free playlist right now, so like, yeah, we can totally listen to that again. Ah, I'm so upset that my chat keeps doing weird stuff. Okay, but it's there now. Cool. Was that chat layered? So what I did, it wasn't layered behind. The issue was that it was expanded so big that it was technically on screen, but only the top of the chat box was, not the bottom of the chat box. So I was a dumbass because I'm like, it's on the right layer. Why isn't it showing up? It's because the top of the chat box is the only thing showing. And I've considered modifying the chat box a little bit because like, it's kind of nice as it is right now. But like, I don't know. There's some people that have like little squares and that sort of thing that make it easier to read and that sort of thing. Oh dear. Am I going into dangerous territory right now? Oh no. Oh no. Also, what have you done? You've distracted me from my homework. How dare you two? Yeah, so I think that like making the date part of the game be different, that could be interesting. Like maybe they need to tell a life story. Yeah, this is homework. It's I'm kind of lucky. Oh, thank you. I will say I'm a little bit behind on my level design homework. I'm very bad with physical spaces, and the teacher's like, make this subway, and I'm like, oh god. I'm so bad at this. I really like emotional games that aren't video games though. That's like one of my favorite things, TTRPGs and that sort of thing. But yeah. Okay, so like how do we change the dating part? Maybe it's like life stories. Like life. Yeah. What were you saying, like life 2 tempo? Sorry, I'm a little confused. But just like in the meantime while you're thinking. Emotional but not video game. Yeah, like, so the thing is like video games have ways of conveying emotions that people can't really experience other places. Like there's a game called Night in the Woods. I don't know if anyone here has played it, but basically that is the reason I became a game designer, because of how much that changed my life. Like I couldn't imagine my life as it is right now without that game. And I just want to make games that make people feel differently, right? Like I don't care, like there's action games and there's horror games and like all that, you know, all that shit's cool and all, but like what I'm really interested in is like having games get people be more interested in each other. Because that's honestly something I've kind of struggled with in life, is being interested in other people. Like emotionally, I really want to, but like sometimes I get caught up in this idea of like, it's hard, you know, life is busy. And I think sometimes we forget that like life is just other people. Everything that we have is because of other people. How can you not be interested in them, right? So like that's why I love games so much, having ways for people to just like stop and think like, oh my god, people exist? Like that stuff, that's what really gets to me, you know? Thinking about other people's lives and that sort of thing. So that's kind of like why I wanted to try this idea for a game, being creative about like making up a person that you're potentially interested in. And like, granted, I have like romantic context right now. So maybe it shouldn't be like a date. That's like, Nikki, I think you're onto something. I'm just trying to think of what it can be instead. Because like detective is like an interesting idea. Night in the Woods, yeah, that's the one. And I kind of like the being playing. Oh, listen, Tempo. If you get the chance to play through the entire thing, you've been wanting to stream it. Hell yeah! If you stream, oh, God, I would definitely watch. Good stuff. Favorite game. But yeah, I'm trying to think about like changing this from a date. Because I like the detective idea, but then it feels a little bit too game-like, right? Like it feels like, oh, I need to discover the real person. You would definitely what? Oh, I said I'd definitely watch ya. Yeah. Oh, so sorry if I haven't seen any, if I haven't followed you, Tempo, yet. I've just been trying to get through all my schoolwork. So, I definitely want to, you know, give you a chance though. And you know, you've given me a lot of, you know, love and attention, so I want to make sure to give that back to you when you're streaming that sort of thing. So, yeah. But yeah, the thing I'm struggling with is like, I like the detective idea, but my main issue with it is that I don't want it to feel like you're trying to like prod something out of someone, you know? So the idea is like, how do you have this environment where you feel like you're talking to someone about who you are without it being a date? It's kind of hard, because like in real life, there's not many situations like that. Like you have coworkers, right? I don't know, maybe coworkers could be interesting. Or like friends or something like that. And then maybe you need to like give each person an archetype of like, oh, you're definitely this kind of friend. You know, like you're the destroy everything and smack things with baseball bat kind of friend. Best kind of friend, by the way. Or you're like, oh, you're like the mom friend, you know, like the one who like checks up on you, gets you snacks when you're drunk, that sort of thing. That could be interesting, is like making up archetypes. Archetypes? Like this idea of like, these are different people that exist in the society, and you get to like make up an archetype of like, oh, this person is so a mom character. Or like, oh, this person is so, okay. An issue with this game? Okay, not an issue with this game, an issue. I know that somebody out there is probably thinking, I could make this into a horoscope game. Ooh, don't get me started on horoscopes. I know, okay, if you like them, that's not a problem. The issue is that too many people like them, and sometimes it detracts from like getting to know a person for who they are. That's just me. I'm sorry for that rant. If you're into horoscopes, good on you. I don't want to bash on that, but I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's lazy in terms of like getting to know people and that sort of thing. That's just me though. So that's why I don't want to make this like, you're such a Scorpio. I don't want to make it that kind of game, because that annoys me, I think. I've had people get upset at me about that though, so. Oh well. I kind of like this idea of like archetypes of like, what kind of friend are you? Or like, what kind of person is this? Maybe you do that, you look at that afterwards. What kind of social dynamics? Oh, maybe what this is maybe this is a game where you like make a squad, right? Like, instead of like finding a romantic partner or something, like you make a squad, like a friend gang, you know? Like you see art of like those squads and that sort of thing. Maybe it's one of those kinds of game. You're making a squad and you're talking about how the different people in the squad interact with each other. Ooh, that's kind of cool. And maybe the locations are things like where they've met other people, and maybe they could talk about like, oh god, I met Casey at the Neon Cafe and I hated it because da-da-da-da-da. But Casey's like, oh god, I loved that place because that's where I met you. And like coming up with like a story. Ooh, I kind of really like that. Maybe there's like two versions. I need to stick to one version or the other. Oh, I like so much. I like both of them so much though. If only I had time for making more games. No. But yeah, thank you so much, Nikki. Your thinking has definitely got me going down a track that I like a lot more. I really like this idea of a squad. Does anyone else have like thoughts on that? Something like that? Also, sorry, I'm just vibing to this music. It's good. Good music. So I think keeping this loop here I think that this loop is pretty much the same. We've gotten rid of the good and bad, but we've got the love and hate, which I think that's a good thing. Just because it simplifies parts of the game that maybe didn't need to exist beforehand, which is good. Let's think here. Okay, so what we have maybe here is we have like a squad game where it's like every person is like you're supposed to figure out what kind of archetype they are, like what kind of friend person, what person are they in the friend group? What is like a general archetype that you can make for this person? And then you have to first of all create that character, right? Using these like prompts and that sort of thing. And so this character has like a character list, but they don't know their identity. And so the goal of everybody at the end of the game is to figure out the identity of this person. Like you can call this person the entertainer, right? They're the one that always entertains the friend group. And maybe there's someone over here that's like the mom. And this is kind of like this thing of like having like different pet, you know, like different animal archetypes. I kind of really like that. Yeah, like working together to figure out how everyone works in a group. And the end goal is to figure out how everyone works in that group. Ooh, so how everyone works in the group. I kind of really like that idea. Thinking about ways that everyone can come together to be in a group. I don't know. I don't know how else to put it. I love squad vibes. I think that's why people have been loving, I haven't played it at all, but I've seen so many memes about it, Deltarune. Just like I look at it and it looks like a squad of 3 friends. And I think that's something that so many people want, you know, squads. You want to be hanging with the squad. You want to be part of the squad. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm just double testing something. Okay, so I think that I like the love-hate part here, because I feel like a lot of what people can... I don't want to say people can summarize themselves through their loves and hates and that sort of thing, but like, I feel like there's something to it, right? I feel like being good and being bad at things, that doesn't matter as much as someone's feelings towards things. Like someone could be really good at coffee, but I think them hating coffee, and that sort of thing has a lot more to do with it. Y'all have got me moving in the right direction, which I like super appreciate. It's definitely super helpful, and I'm pretty happy with it. I'm actually gonna be playtesting this in class tomorrow. So maybe we could have a follow-up stream, where I come and I talk about how people felt about the game, and then we could try and like revamp it, touch it up, see what people feel like. Because I feel like we have a pretty solid idea so far. But what I need to now do for the next little while is come up with adjectives and nouns. Fun. It is actually going to be fun, but like, my mind's just kind of being... I'm tired. I'm going to be honest. I worked for 8 hours today. Also, this song is weird. I'm gonna skip it. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead. It's been an hour. We've done an amazing design. I'm gonna just like chat a little while. I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna say game design concept 1. Save it. And then let's go ahead and transition over to the just chatting. Oh, hold on. I have to fix something. Alright. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm here. Hello. So, I did something at work that I'm so proud of today. I made some latte art, which is like, I know that every barista is supposed to, but like I've only been able to do hearts for a while, but today I did like a tulip. Where do I work again? I work at a cafe. Yeah. And so I'm a barista and I make coffee and that sort of thing. I try. It's hard sometimes. My coworkers are all very pretentious, I guess. Sometimes you just kind of get that vibe at a coffee shop, especially when like my coffee shop that I work for is like owned by a corporation, which isn't great. And so I actually, I guess to de-stress here for a second, I actually quit my job kind of recently, just because, you know, I put in my 2 weeks, just because like I wasn't happy with how everyone seemed to be like competing with each other, and it didn't have like chill coffee vibes. Like this music right now, I want chill vibes. I want to be able to chat with people. I want to be able to make them something that they're gonna enjoy, not just like grab and dash food or, you know, something like that. So yeah. But like I was saying, I actually did make some coffee art today. Let me see if I can't pull up a picture of it. So we're experimenting with streaming tools right now, but let's see if I can't grab it. I've also considered like trying to make latte live on stream or something like that. Like, I don't know. I have no idea how that would work, but there's an appeal to it. It's like, oh my god, making coffee on stream, doing all the cute little things. But first of all, I need to get good at it. Ha 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 ha. Which is the hard part. Oof. I don't know how artists do it. They just sit down and they're gonna be like, I'm gonna learn to draw. No, I'm giving them less credit than it is. Like it is actively a difficult thing, and people go through a process and that sort of thing. I guess I'm a little jealous. Jealous is the right word, of artists. I'm like, I have really big respect for them, right? Just because like latte art, I would say learning to get good at it. It's only been, you know, it's been 4 months and I'm just barely starting to get to my first complex shapes. So it's tricky. Anyways, instead of me just rambling on forever, why don't I actually get the picture? Let's see if I can't save it here. So if I add, and then I add image. Oh, there's literally just an image section. Add a new source. Coffee. Add source. Browse. Downloads. No! Where'd it go? Oh, I was so close. Hold on one quick sec. I'm sorry if I'm being weird right now. I'm so interested in all these tools, and I should be learning these not during streams, but heck. Aw, that's alright. You know, sometimes that happens. Aw, well thank you, Tempo. Hopefully it's enjoyable. Just sitting here listening to me mumble as I try and get a picture. You're just playing? Alright. Hold on, I shall get this. Browse. Is it gonna be here? Please. Oh, it's gigantic. Oh no, hold on. We're getting it. We're getting it. Here we go. Yeah! Okay, it's not perfect, right? Like, the right side is definitely more lopsided than the left side, but like, you know what? If I were to see this on my coffee, if I were to get coffee, I'd be like, yeah, And I actually did give this one to a customer, and she's like, "Oh my god, you've made my day!" And I was like, "Oh my god, I need to do this more. I don't want to work at a place where we're all so stressed that we don't have time to make stuff like this." Because, like, if you can make someone's day with something so small like that, it's like, oh, I love it so much. That idea of just making people happy in small ways where you can, you know? Needed more of that in life. Anywho, I'm gonna sip on this coffee now. I did make this, yeah! Did it take way too long to learn how to? Absolutely. But, you know, I don't know. You know, some baristas will look at that and be like, "Oh, you did a thing. Here's this and this and this that's wrong with it." But, like, I don't know. I was happy enough with it. I think that focusing on the little achievements in life is pretty important too. And I feel like this was one of those where I was like, you know what? I'm happy. I'm happy with that. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, when it comes to streaming, I've started to learn to just like relax during it a little more. I think that a lot of what my I'm actually in a streaming class, funnily enough. So that's part of why I started, but I've also always just kind of wanted to stream. But they're like so pressured and like, oh, you know, you should have like sub counts and you should have donations and you should make sure you're providing value in a certain way and you have like a script and this sort of thing. But like, I don't know. It's been almost like therapeutic to just be able to be here, chat, and talk about life and get to know a few other people, you know. Just having a friendly, comfy little space. Hopefully, I mean, like, we've got a few people watching, so I guess that means that some people like it. It is. It really is. I get ya. Aw, well thank you, Tempo. Yeah. Yeah. I've got, like, doing a bit. Aw, well thank you so much, Tempo. Aw, hearts to you too. Yeah. Right now I've got like default backgrounds and that sort of thing. That's stuff that like I'm slowly gonna work on, see if I can't find like commissions just to make it a little more me, I guess. And so it's like, I don't know, I do kind of like this idea of like me sitting at a TV with this random ass motorcycle guy looking at me while I say whatever the hell I want. Like something about that's very funny to me. It's like, hey you! Yeah, you! The hell you looking at? Your local fluff dragon? Here with the weekly weather report. It's cold! It's finally getting to be fall! That's right, get bundled up in all your comfiest clothes. Find those beanies, slap them on. Beanies are always in style. Change my mind. If you can't pull off a yellow beanie, I don't want to talk to you. Maybe your motorcycle helmet gets a pass. I don't know. And you kind of do have a stylish red hoodie. So I mean, like, I guess you get a double pass. But still, consider the beanies. Alright? Shout out to everyone. If you don't have a beanie, is life even worth living? Well, okay, maybe not that extreme, but you know what I mean. Beanie aesthetic is, ooh, love it. Yeah. Though I kind of do have, like, wacky hair. Like, I've got silver hair, and I use so much hairspray on it every day, that wearing a beanie would completely destroy it. But, you know what? we don't think about that too much. I'll get around to the beanies eventually. Maybe I'll get a haircut, get it real short. I don't know, or long hair with beanies. That's also a vibe. Not gonna lie. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, it's been fun, not gonna lie. Just chatting, having this random ass coffee picture on my screen, covering the sky again. But I should also sleep sooner than later, right? So, let me just go ahead and sip up the coffee. And then pretend that... There we go, I drank it. Alright. But yeah, I'm probably gonna get something to eat. Silver hair is cool. Oh, thank you! It's a pain to keep up with. That is for sure. So much purple shampoo you would not believe, but we tried our best. Oh. Yeah. Oh. But yeah, I think I'm probably gonna call the stream short. I was just gonna have a great hour of design, and honestly, y'all have helped me so much. I cannot express how much it means that, you know, y'all are just willing to come here and help me just do some fun game design, and hopefully, you know, maybe I can like try and teach some things about design in the future. Stuff like that. Yeah. But for now, I'm gonna get back to my pasta and my rice. That'd be nice. Awesome. I'll see what I can't do in the future, Tempo. Maybe if I have time, I can plan something. Inspired to stream Night in the Woods. Hell yes. Do it. DM me on Twitch when you do. Or like, I don't know. You have to let me know when this happens. Cause it's gotta happen. It's gotta happen. I might stream it in the future too, but the thing is, I've already played the game so many times, I want to play it with someone, and it takes a special someone to play that game with, in my opinion. That's just me being weird though. Meh. So, I do want to stream that in the future, for sure though. Absolutely. But for now, I think you should enjoy the hell out of it, because you deserve it. With someone. Oh. Yeah, like... Okay, last thought before I go to sleep. You've got me on a tangent, and you've got me hooked. There's some games that I come across, and it's the weirdest thing ever, but it's like, I could play this game alone, but if I played this with somebody who I care a lot about, and I watch them experience it, and I experience it with them, the game's gonna be so much better, and it's gonna have like a completely different feel to it. Like a really weird experience that I had recently. I was starting, so Outer Wilds is a game that I've heard so many people talk about. Apparently it's like this amazing space adventure game that's like, it gets really at the heart of what it feels to like explore and feel like things are just like, you know, you're making progress in some places, but it all feels like it's collapsing on you at the same time. You got your boyfriend to play it, yeah. So you know a little bit about it. The thing is, like, I booted up the game, and I played the first hour of it, but then I just had to, like, it made me sleepy, so I fell asleep. Aw, that's so sweet. But, like, I was playing it, and then I just, like, paused the game, and I realized, like, I was feeling really emotional, and I was like, I really want to play this with someone. Like, I want to experience this with somebody, right? Because, like, we can experience things by ourselves, but I feel like some things, you just feel like you want to experience them with other people, right? Yeah. Aw. Thanks, Tempo. So, you know, I'm in no rush, to be completely honest. If it means holding off on something that's near and dear to me, or am I a romantic? God, don't get me started, alright? If I could live out the rest of my life in a little coffee shop, making coffee with one other person, just getting by, not worrying about buying no big house or nothing like that, that is literally, God, there's nothing better in life in my mind. Just sitting down on the balcony, enjoying some green tea. I know life doesn't always work out like that, but I sometimes like to think that you can work towards it working out like that. Just with some time, you know. Get there eventually. In the meantime, I get to struggle with online dating apps. Woohoo! Nah, it's not been that bad, but it still is a struggle a little bit. So, yeah. I love chatting with you so much, Tempo, and also chat. But I kind of do need to start getting off to bed. So, thank you all so much for joining the stream, and whether it be morning, evening, noon, or night. Yeah, it is. But I'm gonna have to end it here. I'm so sorry, Tempo. Oh, I'm sorry too. 'Tis okay. Well, you know what? That just means we're gonna have to do more in the future. Ha ha ha. But yeah, I've come up with a closing. I hope you have a good morning, noon, even night, because that covers every time of day for everyone across the world. Woohoo! And you'll hit affiliate super soon. Oh god. That's the dream, right? So I can have, not even for like the popularity or anything like that. I just want damn emotes. I want my goddamn emotes right now. Anywho, you also sidetrack me all the time. But yeah, I love y'all so much. I'm gonna end it here, and I don't want to bother you about it, but the offer's always open if you ever. Okay, super, super, super nice of you, Tempo. I'll definitely DM you on Twitch. Joey's been helping me a lot, but if there's anything that I'm struggling with, love to support other streamers. Aw, well, you've been an awesome support by just being an active member here, Tempo. It means a ton to me. It really does. So I honestly wish you the best of times, and other folk. Oh, thank you. I'm gonna get off to bed though. Alphabet and Tempo! I'm trying to close here and you're making me sad because I want to talk to you more, but I can't. I can't. Alright. But for real, so, no, I'm sorry, Tempo. You really are a sweetheart. You really are. But yeah, I wish everyone here a good night, and I'll see y'all around. I also don't feel guilty. That was half a joke. It was just kidding. I love you so much, Tempo, and everyone else here. So thank you all, and I'll get back to on the other game design stuff, and I'll let you know how it goes. So hope you all have a good night. Bye-bye.